Snoopers? It's your girl, Tony Michelle, aka Fat Girl Snoop, and I am here to drop my 2 cents on all these celebrity deets. Now, I'm not going to be on here long because I have to watch the most ratchet show on TV right now, which is Married at First Sight. You know, I have to watch the Paige and Chris thing. We are going to talk about a little bit about Paige tonight, but like I said, I'm not going to be on very long because I have to watch these shenanigans, so you won't have to. But before we get into Chris and Paige, I don't know if you guys heard about this Tasha K interview that she did with Nia Riley. Now, in case you don't know who Nia Riley is, she is the daughter of our legendary producer, singer-songwriter, Teddy Riley. Now, Nia has been on a couple of shows like Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, as well as the Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars edition. She was on there with her ex-Soulja Boy. And, you know, she's usually out of the spotlight. You don't see much of her. But it's crazy because, you know, she's been, you know, saying that Soulja Boy was basically an abusive boyfriend, but she never got into any like real details until now. Okay. So now these claims of him being physically abusive, allegedly, I'm just going to use the word allegedly, is not really surprising to me. Cause like I said, I've heard this over and over about Soulja Boy, that he is not the nicest boyfriend, allegedly. But now, like I said, I'm not surprised. So I'm just going to use the word allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. Now, in case you didn't know, Soulja Boy is currently in the midst of a legal battle against a former assistant who said that Soulja Boy basically kept her hostage, allegedly, raped her, allegedly, and physically abused her, allegedly, the whole time that they worked together. And according to this former assistant, this has been going on more than once, I believe more than twice, and basically the whole time that she worked for Soulja Boy. So that's what he's dealing with right now. Which brings me to this Tasha K and Nia Riley's interview. Now, Tasha K sat down with Nia to discuss the abuse she went through during her and Soulja Boy's relationship. Now, like I said, some of which did play out on WeTV's Marriage Boot Camp. However, I believe, this is only my opinion, that they really watered things down as far as her and Soulja Boy that season. Like, I really believe that they didn't show us everything that went down behind the closed doors when they went to bed at night. Okay? Now, in one segment of the interview, Nia alleges that Soulja Boy was so violent that he did something very violent to make her miscarry her baby. Now, in true Tasha K fashion, she asked Nia, you know, did Soulja Boy know that you were pregnant at the time that he allegedly kicked you in the stomach? Well, Tasha didn't use the word allegedly, but I'm using the word allegedly, okay? Now, and she responded that he absolutely knew I was pregnant. I was like 15 weeks. So 15 weeks is like, what, 4 or 5 months? I don't think I had told anybody else I was pregnant. Truthfully, in my mind, I didn't know what I was going to do or what I wanted to do. And I was in LA, so I had more time. Then Tasha asked, how soon after this alleged kick in the stomach did she lose the baby? And Nia responded, I'm not sure what time that it happened, but I know for sure it was that night, late night, maybe early morning. I remember I had to put a towel on the bed. Jeez, man. Now, this is disgusting, okay? This is disgusting. Even, not only is it disgusting, but this is even disturbing, even for Soulja Boy, but I need to know what you think about Nia's alleged abuse allegations against Soulja Boy. Now, you can catch snippets of Tasha K's interview on my website, fatgirlsnoop.com, and then come to your 2 cents and drop them in the comments, okay? Now we're going to have to move on to another couple. Well, ex-couple, I should say. Tamar Braxton and her ex-fiancé, David Aldefeso. Now, according to the news, the judge has dropped his restraining order against her because they were supposed to be in court yesterday, March 2nd, and neither one of them showed up to court, which resulted into the judge dropping the restraining order. But this is my 2 cents on it. Now, remember I was telling y'all that David Aldefeso filed this restraining order back in September. He alleged that Tamar was physically abusive towards him while he was driving and that she threatened to have him killed. Now, Tamar actually always denied these allegations and said that David was actually the psycho and he was actually the abusive one and he was actually making the threats. And you know, he was saying that he threatened to kill her in some type of murder-suicide, allegedly. Now, I'm not sure why these two skipped court, but I could only put in my opinion. This is why I have this channel, to drop my 2 cents onto your lap, and you can make the determination for yourself. I think that they purposely skipped this court date so that this stuff can be dropped because she doesn't want any more of her psycho business in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was a TMZ insider that alleges that despite them dropping this court case, that these two are absolutely done. They're going to stay in Splitsville. Absolutely no reconciling. That it's a wrap. But like I said, I just feel like Tamar put a big PR stunt in this because she didn't want all that shit to get out and for us to know what really happened in that car or what really happened behind the closed doors. So, but beyond that, that's all I got. But let me know what you all think in the comments. Why do you think Tamar and David skipped that court date? Now, while you think about that, let's move on to the most ratchet couple on TV now. Now, I am tired of them, but at the same time, I just can't get enough. And yes, I am going to watch tonight's episode of Married at First Sight. And this is going to be for the books. Now, I hope this episode is as good as they're portraying it on the commercials. Now, just a side note, now I did hear it's not what we think, and I did hear that Chris did not get his ex pregnant as we thought. So we're going to hear tonight, A, what happened to the baby, and B, is according to the little snippet I saw, the ex-fiance basically told Paige that, hey, you know, you was under the impression that we were supposed to get back together, but allegedly that's not going to happen. But so let's get on to Paige, because Paige had finally broke her silence. I guess she got tired of us talking about her in these videos and calling her weak and calling her dumb, in a sense. And she said, you know what? I hear you guys loud and clear, but I'm here to set the record straight. And she sat down with Boss Up to so-called set the record straight. But to me, she ain't set nothing straight. But let's get into it anyway. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole interview because, frankly, she didn't say nothing really in the interview. But I did take out some snippets from this interview and for your listening pleasure. Okay. Now, According to Paige, she was finally at her breaking point with Chris after taking a lot of ish and disrespect, as well as Chris telling her that he's still in love with his ex-fiancé and that he basically got his fiancee pregnant during the 6 weeks of him trying out or going out for the show, auditioning for the show, that he got his ex-fiancee pregnant within that time. Now, and remember me also telling you guys that after their honeymoon is when Chris told her that he wanted a divorce. And he didn't want to be with her. He actually didn't even come back with her to Atlanta. He hauled ass to Chicago to allegedly be with the ex-fiance, I believe. And he did not even come back to the apartment that they were sharing. Like, he basically told her at the honeymoon, hey, I really don't want to be with you. Okay? Now, and also last week, she basically spilled all the tea that despite Chris telling her, hey, I'm not attracted to you. You're not my type. You're not the woman that I asked for. I knocked up my ex-fiance. I'm not going to take care of your dog. I want nothing to do with anything that has anything to do with you. I will not be sharing my finances with you. I will not be paying most of the bills. We're going to split that down 50-50. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. And he just broke it down to her. He basically told her that I felt like me having sex with you was going to make me attracted to you. Because remember, I told you guys, he hit it on the first night and he hit it the next day. But he's telling her, I every day since they've been married. But he's telling her, I did this because I was trying my best to find you attractive. I was trying my best to get closer to you, but it did not work. Okay? Then, she also spilled the tea that not only were they having sex every day, but they was also doing it unprotected. So after this man told you that he got another person knocked up, okay, even after you slept with him the next day and he told you that BS, you mean to tell me you still let this man hit raw? I mean, I can understand, you probably feeling yourself, you in the honeymoon, you know what I'm saying? You want to get your rocks off, but you raw? After this man told you all that, you still going to let this man hit you raw, Paige. Okay. So she sat down with Boss Up and she called the marriage traumatic, and she even responded to people calling her weak-minded. And she addressed the fact that she possibly got set up with a narcissist. You think, Paige? You think? Okay, so this is what Boss Up asked her. Boss Up asked her, you arguably had one of the most basically the most messed up marriages we've seen on Marriage at First Sight, and people think Chris is not a good fit for you at all. Why do you think you two were matched? What qualities of yours align? This is how she answered, y'all. Okay, she answers, I'm gonna talk like her. I am honestly trying to still figure that out myself, the good and the bad. Did I get it right? Okay, so then they asked her, throughout this process, we've seen you strongly lean on your faith, but after the baby news, did you also lean on your family and friends for advice? So she answers, yes, I leaned on my family and some close friends, and they, like myself, were devastated and heartbroken about how everything was transpiring in our situation at such a short period of time. Majority of them wanted me to run in the other direction, but were supportive of me and my decisions to stay. Did y'all get that part? My decision to stay. And remember, Pastor Cal and what's that other one, Dr. Pepper, they went on a PR trail to make sure that we knew that Paige had every right, and every reason to leave, but she chose to stay. And now we hear it out of the horse's mouth herself. She chose to stay. Okay. So they asked her what was the best advice that Pastor Cal has given her, because he seemed really empathetic to what she was going through. So she says, I love Pastor Cal. I've always looked up to him and am very appreciative of the role he has played in my post-experiment experience. I think the best advice he had given me during the sit down is to never downplay my commitment to the marriage or this process. I think a lot of people are so quick to judge me and call me weak-minded, desperate, or even my favorite, a doormat. But no one takes the time to really sit on the fact that coming into this process, I really respected the ideals and values of marriage and wanted something like that on my own. I knew that the process would not be easy, but I did not expect so many challenges so early on during the process. Marriage is not easy, and if I could do it all over again, knowing what I know now, I would have definitely made some different decisions. I knew my spirit was really uneasy on wedding day, but I still wanted to give things a fair chance. Now, I mean, Paige, okay, fine, okay? You went in there open-mindedly. You went in there open-heartedly. But after this nigga stumped on it, like I said, I cannot get over the fact that you still had unprotected sex with this man after he told you that you were basically too dark for him, that you were not attracted to him, that he didn't really want anything to do with you, and that the first word that he said when he walked down the aisle was sugar honey iced tea, and it was not in a good way. And what really, really, really killed me is that the last episode where you called the producers up, oh, F that B and F him and this and that, and when I see Pastor Cal, I'm going to air all his ish out and this and that. I'm going to air everything out and this and that. Girl, you didn't do jack. Chris literally came to that meeting, laughed in your face, played you out in front of not only Pastor Cal, but the world. And you did do nothing. You sat there and you watched that man laugh in your face. And then once the cameras were down and Pastor Cal was like, I'm out of here. I'm done. He leans over to you and says, well, not even say it to us, because he whispered in her ear, because like all the other times, he's never acknowledged that he actually, was in love with you, or he even cared about you a little bit. He did say that he felt a little bit closer to you spiritually because you prayed over him about his pregnant so-called ex-fiancé. Oh, God. So then Bossum asked her, does she think that Chris was sincere? And she answered, was Chris sincere when he leaned over to her, whispering in her ear, I'm scared to fall in love with you. That's why I wanted to force you. Because I'm not attracted to you. And plus I already hit it several times. Okay? So they asked her, did she feel like Chris was sincere when he leaned over to her and told her that BS? So she answers, at the time I did, because he said it to me once before off the camera, keyword people, off the camera with other people around. Who are these other people? It certainly wasn't the cast of Married at First Sight. So when you talk about producers, you didn't even say family or friends. You said other people. Who are these other people? So she continues, he's very so she continues, but saying it and meaning it are two different things. Now, they also asked her, is Chris a narcissist like how he portrays on TV? And she answers, the Chris that you see on camera is the same guy off camera. He's very self-serving. Oh my God. Was that breaking news? Did you find that out before, after he told you he got his ex-fiancé pregnant, or did you find this out after he told you that he wasn't attracted to you at all? I need some answers. Okay? All right. Now, they also asked her, why didn't she leave Chris as soon as, he told her the news? So she goes, I think it is easier to judge a book by its cover than to actually empathize with that person and their experience. This was actually a very traumatic experience for me, and there were plenty of times where I emotionally checked out from the entire process. The pressure of it all had really taken a toll. I truly like to see the good in people, and that's why I gave difficult things a fighting chance. But just like the old saying goes, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Was this the first time when he told you he wasn't attracted to you? Or the first time that he told you that he got his ex-fiancée pregnant? And remember, y'all, I told you guys that allegedly, the fiance actually is not pregnant. So now we are up in the air thinking, did Chris lie about it? Or did the fiance lose the baby? Or was it somebody else that was pregnant, according to the blogs? Now, what do you all think about Paige's thoughts on the marriage with Chris? Okay? Me personally, this is just my opinion, I can't feel sorry for her anymore because I feel like at this point, everything that Chris is dishing out, she's serving, she's eating and getting full. And so I can't feel sorry for her because let me tell you something. I don't care if it was 2 seconds after I married a stranger. If this guy tells me, hey, I got my ex-fiancée pregnant, I don't want to be with you, you're too light-skinned for me, your lips are too big for me, I'm out of here. I'm gone. But let me think what you guys think in the comments, because like I said, I cannot feel sorry for Paige. And I'm not going to go through the whole interview. Like I said, I took out little snippets. But if you want to go back and read Bossip's interview with Paige, I can't feel sorry for her because at the end of the day, in this interview, just like on the show, this whole time, she's been protecting her man. Okay? She's been protecting her man. Like I said, she was going to air out all his stuff. And then when he came smiling in her face, all that changed. It took for this man to say, I'm not in love with you anymore. And then all was forgotten. For him to say, oh, I don't want to fall. I'm scared I'm going to fall in love with you. And then and 2 seconds later, y'all walking towards y'all cars. This man don't even wait for you. He takes a suitcase, hops in the car, and hauls ass. He didn't even wait for you to make sure you got into your car safe. He bounced. Y'all, I'm so over them. But at the same time, I am going to be watching tonight, so you won't have to. But make sure you drop your 2 cents in the comments and let me know what you think about these two. And you can catch snippets of their journey on my website, fatgirlsnoop.com. But like I said, I will be watching tonight's episode because tonight is going to be the night that Chris, Paige, and Chris's ex-fiancé sits down and, for this so-called pregnancy talk, which, like I said, I don't think the girl's pregnant, but this should be good and juicy, and I am here for it for you. Like I said, I'm gonna be watching this so you won't have to. Well, my snoopers, that is my time for tonight. Like I said, I'm gonna hop off here and get into this Married at First Sight. But you gotta let me know your 2 cents on this Mia Riley and Tasha K interview. Should Soulja Boy be held accountable for all these alleged abuse allegations that's against him at this moment? And what about Tamar and David? Who else thinks that they meant to miss out on that court date so that the restraining order could be dropped and so that the blogs won't know what the hell really happened in that car that night and what really happened behind them closed doors? I think Tamar didn't want to know shit. Okay, and what about the Married at First Sight couple, Chris and Paige? Now, are you guys done with this couple like I am? But love to watch. You know I'm gonna watch it, so you won't have to. And you can always catch me every day on my website, fatgirlsnoop.com. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe because it does a lot for my podcast as well as my video. Now, until next time, my snoopers, remember that it's PHAT as in pretty, hot, and tempting. Bye for now.